Ciao a tutti, how are you? Hope everyone is fine, and I'm so happy to meet you tonight and this afternoon for making your own yeast. That is a very, very good way to prepare something that is healthy, good, cheaper than go and to the bakery shop, for example. And so I'm very happy that we are all together here. I hope that if you need something, you can ask me your question. No problem, because I jump here even when the Facebook streaming is done. I come here, I look at your questions, and I try to answer everyone. So no problem. I'm sure that I'll be with here for you. And so, if you want to start to ask me something after I have to see this, and I can answer everyone. Allora ragazzi, so let's start with this. This is a very fast mixing. And it's very fast as well as you can do it, you can make it. But it's important to know the steps. Because if you make the right steps, then you can have a very good bacon product. And so as we start with the yeast that someone called starter, is very, very important. So we start, as you can see from the ingredients that I wrote you, with the flour, that here in Italy is double O flour. Double O flour, you can buy it. I know there is a brand, Caputo, I think, that you can find on internet. There is like a shop, online shop. If you want, I can put the name of the shop in the comments. And so the double O flour is the most used flour in Italy. It's the purest one, is white, you can see is without any kind of black or brown seeds inside, just because is that one that we use to make cakes and desserts. So it's the finest and the best to make patisserie, pastry and cakes. We use this flour to make our dough because with this, after we can add another kind of flours, and it will be better to have the meeting between different kinds of flour. So let's start. We have just to take our glass. You can see I take this kind of glass, even if after I don't cover with this, but I cover with a cotton like that one. So I'll use this. But now we use this kind of glass. And the first step to make your own yeast, that is today, after we'll see after tomorrow, is to add some water to this. In the case that I wrote you is 100 milliliter, so is like 7 tablespoons of water. But it's important that your water is warm. So go to the sink. You can go to the sink. You can use normal water, but it's important that it's warm. And you pour this in your jar. To the water, we have to add the honey. So I have acacia honey that is very delicate one. I prefer this, but it's very good, any kind of honey, don't worry. I see if I... Ciao Rachel! Ciao! Yes, stay with your granddaughter and look at me and make this. This is very easy, and I'm sure so you can make pizza, focaccia, vero? And I know that your granddaughter will love the focaccia and the pizza made from her granny. So we go with this water, that is warm water, and we add to this some honey in the measure of 1 tablespoon. So I repeat, warm water 7 tablespoons, like 3 ounces. and 1 tablespoon of honey. Not full, eh? So, in this way you can mix all together, and if something still remain and the tablespoon, there is no problem, because you can use also 1 teaspoon of honey. It depends from the force that some honey have, but anyway, between 1 tablespoon and 1 teaspoon, you can be sure that is a perfect way to start with your daughter, with your sourdough, pardon. Ecco, so you melted this water and honey. At this point we had the flour, but we mixed all together this in the jar and we pour in a bowl. I suggest you to have a big bowl like this, that is much bigger than what that you have to put inside, because after is it's easier to work inside this. So we pour our liquid inside the bowl. You know that something will still remain here, maybe some honey, eh? And we take our flour, that in this case we are going to use 3 ounces. We take our... Now it's important that you have your weight perfect. It's not like the honey. So it's okay if you have 100 grams, that's almost 3 ounces. So if you have 3 ounces of this, is okay. And after we see if we need more when we are going to mix all together. So 20, 40, I need 100 grams, that is 3 ounces. As you can see, 5 tablespoons is almost 3 ounces. Perfetto. Okay, so now we have our water, honey, and flour, and stop. We don't need any other ingredients, but we need a tool. That is, if you have a wooden spoon, that is very good to mix all together. So I go in my bowl and I start mixing. So Rachel, your granddaughter can try to mix all together, huh? We mix all together, and if you see that is a bit too much liquid, now I show you. Look at this, you see this is a very liquid. So we had a bit more flour. In this case, I had 1 tablespoon like this. You can see this written in many books about making your own yeast, your own sourdough. So at this point, we achieved the perfect consistency, texture. So you see, you can see it's much better. Now it's not like a liquid, and it's not like yogurt. It's more gummy, you see? It's almost elastic. This is the right consistency, the right texture that I think you can have watch it and you can have seen with me. And we take this and we put in our jar this time, that you know maybe on the bottom of your jar you can have your honey. So we go. We don't add anything else to the jar. But this. Here we have our doughs. Now a step that is very important. I suggest to Rachel's granddaughter to go to the sink and to wash or to wet a cloth, a cotton cloth that is better. So we need to have this under the sink, under the water, and then we dry just a bit, but because it has to be wet. And after we put like a lid over our jar, but it's important to go to wet. Wait a moment and I come to you. Eccomi. Here I am. So I have you see my hands are very wet. I took this and I put this over my jar. And this time, this is very wet. I take an elastic, if you have, and I can close. I don't know if you see, now you have, I think that now you can see, and I close this. Okay. No, okay. Wait a moment. Okay, now should go. Ecco. So now we have our jar that is with a cotton cloth lid wet, and we have to put this in a dark place. Dark place means in your kitchen. You can put in, but it's important that you, even if it's near the stove, it's okay. But it's important that there is no light inside, okay? Because this needs to rest, and we leave this to rest for I think 48 hours. So we see. Not tomorrow, but we meet again after tomorrow at the same time, and we check our doughs for the second step of making your own yeast. Then there will be a third step, and after that step you can start bakings. The first bakings that you are going to do to make are very low levitation, are like a grissini, for example, or crackers. But after, the fourth will be always and each time higher, and so strongest, and so you can make very many things, many cakes and dessert, everything you have, but for sure you'll have something that is really light. It's almost impossible to have this gluten-free, because you know in this kind of flour and in the form of levitation, in rising you need the gluten, but we can substitute for people that are gluten-free ones. They can use a different kind of rising, like apples, or a different kind of fermentation. So now we are going to put this in our kitchen. If you need something, please do not hesitate, write me your questions and I'll answer you, of course. During this day, after this streaming will be no more posted. So it's important that you asked me everything, because I'm here to answer you, and I jump here even when the Facebook streaming will be done. See you in 2 days. I promised you that it was a very fast streaming. Rachel, you can go everywhere and then you can switch on your phone and the Facebook direct, because you know we can meet with no problem. So see you in 2 days, and we check what happened, but you see that something will happen, because this is something alive, and you see that the sourdough will give you great satisfaction. So I greet you everyone, and we see in a couple of days. Have a nice evening. Ciao Christy, ciao ciao ciao, ciao Rachel, and ciao Rachel granddaughter. Ciao 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 ciao. Next time, 2 days after tomorrow, the same time, but I write everything in Facebook event and in the page Cooking Classes in Tuscany, Cuoche and Vacanza Cooking Classes in Tuscany. So in the Facebook page you can see all the info. Ciao 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 ciao.